I was going to ask you, can I ask you just a quick question? I don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt your flow, but I think it's like, so how did like, I mean, I've done some of this work that you're talking about, and quite frankly, it's really funny to hear you talking about like the spontaneous like tantrum, because I think that as imperfect as I am, I know I am. Sometimes Brooke will tell you sometimes those things come out with me too. Luckily, not as often as they used to, which is the important thing. But the thing is, how do people how do you help people figure out what their programs are so that you know what to reprogram? You know what I mean? Like step one.
Yeah, so it's actually super simple, right? Like like imagine that your life is like a garden, right? And the fruit that's showing up in your garden is the results that you've created, right? So you have fruit that's showing up in your relationships, fruit that's showing up in your health, like all of that. Now, some of the fruit is like so sweet and beautiful and it's amazing. You're like, oh my gosh, this is the most epic thing I can possibly imagine. And other fruit is like, wow, it's rotten fruit. If you look at the rotten fruit, then you ask, okay, how did I create this? You know, how did I create this debt? Or how did I create this dysfunctional relationship? Or how did I create being single again? Or how did I create, being 40 pounds overweight and having this chronic illness, right? Like looking at the choices that represent the trunk of the tree, right? But underneath that is the roots. The roots are what generate the fruit. And the roots are the beliefs. So it begins by just looking at what's not working in your life. If you can identify something that's not working, some fruit that's showing up in your life, great, that's the gold mine. Because if you can get curious about that, it's like, interesting. Why do I experience anger in this situation? Or why do I keep, making bad decisions with money? Or why do I keep eating food that I know is not good for my body? If you can get curious on the beliefs, it's like, what would I need to believe? Listen to this question. What would I need to believe to create this? What would I need to believe to choose that? And then all of a sudden that becomes the doorway, the access point for us to figure out like what the core program is, because the beliefs are the programs, the beliefs are the codes, the beliefs are the viruses. Does that make sense? Yeah, there's a part of me that I know that I mentioned that I want to do like a one-on-one breakthrough. And I think what I'll do is I'll save that for next round. What I want to do is like lay the framework of the steps today. And then when we come back next time, let's actually do a live demonstration where you can watch me do a one-on-one session like I would with any client. But then I'll break it down so you can see it. I was like, oh shit, okay, that makes sense. I think if we lay the cognitive framework, and if those of you that are like, oh wow, this is super interesting, can commit to actually showing up next time, then we can actually give you some practical tools. And what's great about this is when you learn this breakthrough process, and maybe what I'll do is I've trained a lot of other people on this breakthrough process. So maybe next time I can bring actually a document that breaks down the steps, so you can actually see and follow along, and we can, do a live demonstration. I think that would be really powerful. But just because it does take, 15, 20 minutes to do it justice. So let me walk you through the steps and give you some simple things, and we'll just open up for Q&A. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.